Hello and welcome to Basement Fodder, the only show whose hosts don't want to know your name. We just want bang, bang, bang. I'm Todd.
I'm Dave. The people need to learn how to color.
All the people.
All the people. Well, specific people. But all the specific people.
It's been a while since we recorded on a Tuesday. It's been a long week.
Whatever, goddamn. It was a holiday weekend, and I got a job. I'm busy. My body hurts.
And we actually celebrated the 4th this time, which we don't usually put much effort into doing. We vaguely did.
It's one of those holidays that gives us an excuse to drink. That's pretty much.
I don't need an excuse.
Well, you're like, it's a holiday. Let's get super belligerent.
Belligerent. That was great, actually. Sunday, we went out and bought a grill. I just want to say, fuck Walmart's website, because I was looking for a cheap grill, and a grill is not something I want to spend a lot of money on if I don't have, because we don't have a house, we just have an apartment, and I'm afraid some numbnuts fuck's gonna steal it. So,
I've seen your neighbors' grills.
Some of them do have
really nice grills, and I'm like, if those fucking things are still here.
But this is me though, and if anyone was going to get their goddamn
they did steal the backless.
They stole the backless chair. Okay, so I look on Walmart's website, and they're like, oh, we have a 17-inch grill or something like that stands up, not one of those stupid ones that sits on the ground that make me hateful. For $20, and I was like, all right, well, I'll go buy that. Well, of course, they didn't fucking have that.
I'm sorry, that was incorrect.
But they did have a pretty decent one for $35, which was, that's fine.
That's not bad.
So we got that, and then I had a frustratingly annoying time putting it together, because they're like, oh, you don't need any tools. All your tools that you need are included. And so,
they say that, but that's never the case.
It has all these...
Except for these 3 that we forgot.
Phillips head screws in there. But all that's in there is this tiny little Allen wrench. And I didn't look at it closely. I was just like, it's a fucking Allen wrench. There's nothing in here that looks like it requires an Allen wrench. Well, it did have a little Phillips head on it. But if you were to try to use it on the screws, it would just slide around in there. It was tiny. It was like a Ken doll sized fucking Allen wrench. So thankfully, I actually have tools.
Somewhere there's a camera in the box where they're all just sitting laughing at motherfuckers. Like, look at that dipshit trying to put together that grill. That fuckwad.
Someone in whatever Asian country it came from. It's very entertained by me trying to put that fucking thing together. But I did get it put together. And on Sunday, the weather was not super ideal for outdoorsiness. It was a little rainy.
I really liked it, actually.
I mean,
nice.
It was cool out, which was nice. But it wasn't it was a little rainy here. Yeah, you couldn't do pool, unfortunately.
But I got to sit under the tree while it rained, and I didn't get wet at all. And it was nice.
That was great, actually, yeah. And I made burgers and hot dogs and teriyaki chicken, which turned out pretty good.
Made brat burgers.
Brat burgers, yeah. Dave got some brat burgers, and I've had them before. They're quite tasty.
Yeah.
And the brats were very good. I did have one of those. And all the normal...
He tasted of thine wiener.
Chawed wiener.
I'm not one of these little bitch fucking grill users that it's everything needs to be
like some char on it.
I like some gristle on my fucking meat, goddammit. Whatever. I mean, I still like it to be soft in the center and shit, but I like fucking that flame broiled gristle on there and shit.
Flame broiled goodness.
Fuck those pansy pussy grillers that are oh, it's burnt, I can't eat it. Go back home, you meanie.
The thing that normally happens when you grill out, it's you make a belligerent amount of food and then just graze all day.
Yeah.
Like angry cows.
Great. Fucking great. I came back later on that night and I'm like, hey, you know what? I still have a plate full of brats waiting for me.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, it's funny because you had gone down to Dayton, to visit your dog and your mom and stuff.
Yep.
And I
get hot tub.
I get a message with this picture of this giant bottle of 1800 peach margarita.
Yeah, the tequila stuff, yeah.
He's like, look, we got a present for my mom.
My mom's like, because the last few times I visit her, it's been in her fridge, and I'm like, have you not drank this at all yet? And she's like, I don't drink that stuff. She's like, I drink wine, and that's probably about it. She used to drink a lot more.
I do love wine.
Doesn't drink much anymore, but she was like, the guy got it for her because she trained him and he knew she had a hot tub or something, and he was like, here you go, get sauced in your hot tub, drinking some stuff. And she was like, you guys could have it. And I was like, oh,
don't tell me twice.
I was like, don't toy with me, woman. Are you serious? She was like, yeah, you guys could have it. And I was like, yes, I'll gladly have one of these and stuff. Actually,
speaking of delicious spirits,
yeah, we're gonna start drinking. My body hurts. And yeah. But so I brought that back, and I was like, we don't even really need to go buy too much booze. We still bought booze.
Some delicious Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
I bought...
oh, yeah, you had that, Smith & Forge?
Yeah, Smith & Forge. I have one left.
And it was pretty tasty. Like, I tried one of them, and it was...
I would actually say I kind of like that more so than some of the other ones. Like
You think?
Angry Orchard. Or not Angry Orchard, but like Woodchuck.
Like, Woodchuck, okay. The thing about the ciders is, like, Woodchuck was the first one I ever had, and I liked it the most, like, for a good while.
Yeah.
But now that I've tried a lot of different ones, it's near the bottom. Like, I mean, it's still great.
It's not bad, but it's like the Budweiser of, cider.
Yeah, it's like, I prefer...
But if you go to the Renaissance Fair, they have it on tap.
Yeah, I prefer Strongbow, personally. Like, Strongbow is probably my favorite. Like, it has the smoothest flavor, and I get the least bad after effect from it. Like, drinking Woodchuck is like drinking, like, thick apple cider. It lays on my stomach, and I get doomed from it, you know? But drinking Strongbow, it's like it'll clear you out. And light and delicious. Yeah.
It'll clear you out.
So, I'm having a Miller High Life, and you're having a Smith & Forge.
Smith & Forge.
Tinky? Oh, Tinky. So, we had a good time. We had sat outside. Like, I put a blanket on the ground, laid down, because we didn't have a lot of chairs. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to lay on the ground under a tree.
Yeah, just listening to music, eating, fucking chatting and stuff.
Listening
it was
to
just
Big
like...
Time Rush, you know.
The boyfriend.
The boyfriend song.
It was just one of those nice, like, relax, don't do a fucking thing.
But of course it was Sunday, though. And so that's our gaming day. And we're sitting there, and I'm like, I'll be fine to game. Like, I had a good amount of alcohol at that point. And you're like, I don't know, man. I'm getting close to the bag here. Like, I don't know how much I'm going to have in me.
I'm like, I don't know what you're getting. Like, I'm just letting you know. I'm getting soused, so you're getting what you're getting. Just deal with it, you know.
But you know what, though? We had a really nice little session. Like, it was short. We had fun.
I wore an Annabelle mask and a fucking cowboy hat the entire time while I was playing. And still drinking while gaming.
Because the Basement Babe usually plays in our game with us, but she, unfortunately, is not able to play for the next few weekends. So you've been playing her character, with your character.
Yep.
But your character was off doing some stuff, like, alone by himself, so we didn't have to worry about incorporating him to the part of the story that we were doing.
Yeah,
we were just kind of actually finishing up a piece of story.
Yeah.
And it was like, vague dungeon crawl sort of thing, like in some dwarven ruins. And
so I just put all my energy into being drunk and playing her character, playing a girl. And I figured what would help me get into mode than wear the Annabelle mask.
And the cowboy hat.
And the cowboy hat, yeah. It's because I was drunk trying to find something, and I saw that there was a hat, and I was like, ooh, there's a hat. I'm going to wear this.
It was so great. We actually had a blast. It was a really good... we only played for about 2 hours, but it was really fun when we did.
Yeah.
Had fun. And then the rest of the night belonged to the drink the beer.
One of the greatest games ever invented.
Yes, I won. You won. We all won.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Nobody loses unless you drink some bad beer and vomit your brains out.
It was a fine old time. We were hanging out with our friend Ariel from across the way, and not Dave, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Not Dave was drinking her weird fucking pink lemonade margarita shit.
Hey, she likes that stuff.
Which when I got drunk, I was like, and now I'm drinking it too, because I'm out of my other booze.
Yeah.
And you could barely taste the nasty, horrifying tequila in it.
Same with the fucking
And same with the
one.
peach stuff. Oh man, that peach stuff tasted so fucking good.
You could tell this was some expensive stuff because
it
was like, it tasted really well. Like, you couldn't taste the liquor at all. And you're
had
like,
that sort of white peach flavor.
Yeah, you're like, this is bad. I don't taste the liquor. I'm going to get fucking stupid drunk.
Yeah,
so we only drank half the bottle.
We did, but it was enough, along with everything else that I just started drinking. You took off for a while to run an errand or something, and we ended
errand of booty
calling and whatnot.
Booty errand. I had to run that booty errand.
It was important.
It was
Dan did not drive drunk. He waited until he was sobered up. So just so we know, I don't want to promote drunk driving. I'm very against it. I lost a good friend to it. And I would have taken his keys away.
Yep.
Like, I don't fuck around with that shit. I will take your keys. But we ended up playing the Cthulhu dice game, which is tons and tons of fun, especially when you're drunk because it doesn't require much effort.
No, yeah, you're just like, woo!
And Errol brought over a bunch of different Flux games, and we just stacked all the cards together. It was like regular show Flux, Cthulhu Flux, Monty Python Flux, and Cartoon Network Flux all just together in one game.
Sounds too weird. Like...
It was hard for me to grasp.
Yeah.
Because I was too drunk.
Yeah, but I'm like, Flux itself can be difficult enough depending on which one you have. It's a strategy game. But when you throw all that fucking weird shit in there, like, you're like, what the
But it's a lot of fun, though. Flux is awesome. I love it. I hadn't played in forever.
Too bad we couldn't play Munchkin.
Oh, so Not Dave was like, oh, you know what game we need to play? Pull out that, like, Eldritch horror game or whatever, the Elder Sign game. And I'm like, that's way too fucking complicated for my drunk ass to try to play.
I wondered when I came back, I saw it was out. I was like, who's fucking with my Elder Sign game? And
it was her. She was like, no, we can totally play it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I am in the motherfucking bag right now.
I've tried to play this thing sober, and it took... There's, like, some setup time.
It's complicated, man.
There's some setup time. We'll play it. We'll definitely play it.
Yeah.
We've got games that we need to play.
Oh, yeah. We've got plenty of games that we haven't played yet.
We should play some games and review them.
That'd be a lot of fun. We could totally do that. Yeah. But, yeah, we had a good time. It was good. And Monday was, of course, the actual 4th of July, which we didn't really do anything on.
I slept till 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Not Dave and I went to see The Conjuring 2.
Yeah, dick.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, it wasn't at the movie tavern, so I was like, fuck, that kind of ruined our movie tavern plan. I'll still go see it with you, too.
I was like, what the fuck? You fucking asshole.
She wanted to have a date day or something.
I figured that's what it was. So I was like...
That was the only thing we could agree on was that movie. There was no other movie that she wanted to see that I gave a shit about.
Yeah, you're like... She's like, I want to see this. You're like, fuck no. You're like, I want to see this. And she's like, fuck no. And you're like, Conjuring 2? Okay.
I'm not going to give any like detailed review or anything like that or spoilers because I still want to go see it with you too.
Yeah.
But I'll just say that like if you like the first one, you will equally like this one. I would say it is equally as good, if not in some respects. Like I wouldn't say better necessarily, but like there's some cooler stuff in there. Like there's a lot of.
It's really a taste thing. It's an opinion.
Yeah.
Like, do you like it better and stuff? You know.
The stories are similar, but like the entities that they deal with are a little different, and it's like. A lot of the cool stuff that they did in the first one, they did more of in this one, which is cool. Like in the first one, like it was a lot about the family, and like then Ed and Lorraine Warren didn't come in until like partway through the movie and stuff. But this one is like more focused. Like it was almost like half and half. It was half focused on the family and half focused on them. Yeah. And I like that aspect because, like, whatever you feel about the Warrens in real life, whether you think that they're charlatans or full of shit or whatever, they've had They had a long career of working directly with the Catholic Church as demonologists and sanctioned. So there must be some level of legitimacy to what they're doing.
There's some level of like, all right, you know your shit.
Like, whether you believe in paranormal stuff or not, it's still a really good story.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest things that James Wan has done with the Conjuring movies and these characters is he really takes the time to show, like, it's almost like a love story between them. Mm-hmm. And Patrick Wilson and Vera, and I always going to fuck this up, Farmiga, I think is her name, Vera Farmiga. Yeah. They really have epic chemistry together. Yeah. And Patrick Wilson is such a charming actor.
Yeah, like, he's a bad... He, for me, will always be great because he played my favorite character in Watchmen. Mm-hmm. And
he did a movie called Hard Candy that's really disturbing.
Oh God, it's so rough. He plays a really good bad guy too.
Yeah, but he's a good looking dude. He's very charming. Like he's disarming. There's a great scene. Like this isn't a spoiler or anything, but like it has to do with kids and like they don't have any music and he's trying to cheer them up. So like he busts out a guitar and like sings an Elvis song, like does a little Elvis impersonation, and it is like a really really good character building scene where you see like. And there's the interaction, like, with the eyes between him and Lorraine. Like you see why these people are totally head over heels for each other. They're just, like...
He's really good
perfect
at that.
For each other
I've seen him in a lot of stuff. There was that show he had where he was, like, the doctor. And then I've seen some other movies that he has. And he can do a wide range of characters. And, like, he can do action. Yeah. He can do... that like kind of nerdy shy guy. He can do the very charming guy. He can do the wise ass. I think he's one of the best like underrated actors.
Oh yeah, I think he's
seems like
underrated.
He's finally starting to get some more parts, but he's been very underrated for his.
And of
abilities.
course, like this movie had the biggest horror opening in the last 3 years, like even in eclipsing the original. Yeah. So I mean, it really is a quality. If you like that kind of the possession and ghost story kind of that, if that's your genre of horror, you'd be all about it.
I think that for me, that was kind of the I liked Annabelle.
I loved Annabelle too.
I loved Annabelle, but that was the thing that was missing, was you didn't have the Ed and Lorraine.
Yeah,
porn.
and there is a little Annabelle in this one. Like he does go in the room where Annabelle is and stuff at the end of the movie to put something in there. And like I'm like, oh, there's Annabelle. Oh.
Yeah, like,
but it's really it plays on a lot of tropes. It plays on like the tropes of like their religious convictions and like whether something is a hoax or not a hoax. And that it is basically their job to find out if there is really shit going on, and where the church will intercede with like exorcism or blessings and things and stuff like that, or if it is like seriously a hoax. And the case that they're dealing with is the Enfield hauntings from England, and like it is basically England's version of Amityville. And they actually, the beginning of this one actually deals with Amityville and their participation in Amityville, which is very interesting too. So there's a lot of good stuff there. It's extremely well acted and well shot, and the effects are good, and like it is not a huge amount of CG bullshit. Like, and there was stuff in there that like there's a character in there that you would absolutely 100% think is completely CG, and it's not, and that disturbed me. Because if you see the way it moves,
about this,
you're like, there's no fucking way that that's not CG, but it isn't. And I was like, oh god.
You're like, somebody can really move like that? Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
It plays on a lot of really good stuff. The only detractor to the whole thing was this stupid fucking bitch who was
it wasn't even the movie. It was like somebody you had to deal with.
Sitting on the other side of Not Dave, who was literally playing on her motherfucking Facebook app through the entire movie. This is unacceptable to me.
I'd have said something.
I was furious. Like, every time I'd be focusing on the movie and getting into it and shit, I'd, like, the corner of my eye, screen lights up and shit, and she's fucking poking around. I swear this bitch never looked at the screen more than twice the entire fuck. I'm like, why are you here?
And why are you sitting next to us?
Yeah, that's the other question. Why the fuck are you sitting next to us? We went at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 4th of July. Yeah, the theater, like the movie theater complex itself was packed to the gills. This movie, though, was not packed to the gills.
Yeah.
There was plenty of open area. There's no reason these motherfuckers needed to be sitting directly next to us.
Yeah.
But for some fucking reason, it was like lady and her husband and their like 65-year-old mother or something. And I'm like, none of you look like you would give a shit about this movie in the first place. This chick obviously didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to, like, fucking rip a piece of the seat out and just beat her with it. Like, it just really fucking enraged me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's so rude. Don't do that shit. There's a reason they talk about, like, turn your motherfucking phone off.
There's, like, movies you can get away with that. Like, if you're watching some Michael Bay CG porn movie, you can get away with that shit. Like, you're not really missing much. But This is, like, one of those, like, there's a lot of character stuff and a lot of fucking, things that need to keep you entranced in the movie.
Atmosphere.
And if you're like, it's all getting broke because some bitch wants to play on her phone and stuff, I probably would have said something.
I wanted to grab her phone and just, like, throw it down by the screen. Like, go fetch, bitch. Like,
get to getting. But got a little angry man with knives at home. He'll come. He'll meet us here.
But like, literally, I have no complaints about the movie itself. Yeah. Like, it was really well done, and they seem to stay, like, from all the research that I was doing, fairly accurate to what actually happened. And they do a good job. And they did this in the Conjuring, the first Conjuring too. They do a good job of, like, playing both sides of the argument, like showing that, like, while they believe this to be legit, there is there is doubt. There could be doubt, you know, and they don't shy away from the fact that there could be doubt. Yeah. So
they pretty much play that, like, all the way through. It's not like, oh, well, we did it in the beginning or anything like that. They're always like, hey, you never know. Like, it could be some stuff.
I mean, I'm a genuine horror fan, and I enjoyed it very, very much. Yeah. So
it'd be interesting to see if they do another one.
Oh, I would almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
Actually, I was reading James Wan actually turned down Fast and Furious 8 to direct that because he wanted to. He cared so much about the project. He was like, in his words, he turned down a life-altering amount of money in directing Fast 8 to direct that instead. Yeah. Which I was like, fucking A, man, because he's a horror guy. I mean, like, he's why we have Saw and Annabelle and all this shit.
He does do a really good job with the Fast and the Furious movies and stuff like that, but it's really nice to be like, hey, we're up to 8 on those things. People are going to go see them no matter what.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter if I fucking direct it or not.
Yeah, plus I think, too, I don't know, I can understand him maybe being like, I want to do this, but also at the same time with the Fast thing, it's like, Paul's gone. Yeah. Like, so it's like, now it's like, how much can the story really
I feel like it's way past the end of its fucks given anyway, but that's not my kind of movie, so
but it's nice to see a director that's like, I'm gonna do this and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
it was like when it came to the Aquaman and the Flash.
Yeah.
The director chose to do Aquaman because he was like, you know, you're gonna get somebody good for Flash.
That's him too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
James Wan. Yeah.
And that's the thing. He's like, I want to make Aquaman good.
Yeah.
And stuff. So it's like he is one of those few directors that's like, fuck the money, I don't care.
Yeah, and I appreciate that about it.
movie.
He's a guy who's passionate about horror, and a lot of I would say a lot of the best horror of the last 10 years is connected to him.
Yeah.
Like he's either produced it or directed it. Like, and he's,
Didn't he do like the Insidious stuff too?
Yeah,
like,
he's
was
involved
attached
in
to
that
it
too. Yeah,
somewhere?
and he produced Lights Out, which is coming out July 22nd, which I'm really excited about too. It's based on a really awesome short that I love and I've shared many times, and that's creepy as motherfucking hell.
Oh, so fucking creepy.
And that's coming out on the 22nd, and also Star Trek Beyond is coming out on the 22nd, which I was just salivating over that trailer too.
I really want to see this one because
so excited about it.
Like, I know the circumstances behind this with like the writing, who wrote it and stuff, and it looks really good. Like, this one finally feels like this Star Trek has made something their own.
Yeah.
Like, because like the first one you played a lot off of, Leonard Nimoy being in it, and then like the second one was very like heavy off the Khan thing, and stuff, and it was like this one finally starts to take off and feel like it's becoming its own
definitely
universe and its own thing, and like you're finally starting to see more awesome creaturey aliens and stuff like that. Like, I think that's one of the things with people like that, the Star Trek Star Wars thing coming to, like, people from Star Trek like the alien races and stuff like that. People who like Star Wars like the alien creatures. Yeah. I will always say I like the creatures more than the alien races. Like, some of them are good, but more often than not I like the creature work and stuff, and it seems like they're starting to kind of take this universe and blend them a little. But they also seem to be doing that with Star Wars too. Yeah. Like, they're taking really good cues off each other.
I think that like J.J. Abrams' involvement in both of them has kind of done that. Like, he's brought some Star Wars in to Star Trek, and they brought some Star Trek back into Star Wars too. And I actually think that's a good thing because they do have a symbiotic relationship. I mean, we've talked about it before, but George Lucas has talked about it himself. Like, there would be no Star Wars without it. Like, he took a lot of cues from Gene Roddenberry and his original shit.
He's not good at writing.
Yeah, he's just a shitty screenwriter. So, but no, I'm very excited about both of those. I will be super jazzed. But man, the end of July is just going to be so fucking
and into August too,
jam packed.
Fucking Suicide Squad, baby.
Yeah, well, not even that. Like, this leads actually well into like our schedule talk.
Yeah.
The end of July is just going to be nuts to butts for the Basement Show.
starting
the weekend of the 23rd. Well, actually, starting a little bit before that, but I can't actually make an announcement about that one yet. But the weekend of the 23rd, Saturday, are you going to be doing that one with me? The Not at Comic Con with me? At Pack Rat?
Should be.
Yeah. We're going to be at Not at Comic Con.
Mine starts the weekend before that because I'll be like a DAG event that weekend and stuff. So it'll be like...
Yeah. Saturday the 23rd is Not at Comic Con at Pack Rat. That's going to be great. We got that gig recently. I talked to them, and I'm very happy about that. And then the day after that is the Ohio Toy Comic Show down in Fairborn,
which we will definitely.
That's our favorite show of the year, probably.
I'll be slathering my balls all across the Roma table.
We'll be talking to Sarah about her feet.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna like show up with like toe rings and stuff for her, and like just all kinds of like feet thing, and I want to see how bad I can creep her out. Like,
it's gonna be fine time.
Yes, it's gonna be good and stuff. Like, I'd show up with like a foot manicure set and stuff like that. Like, let me see your feet, Sarah. Let me see your feet.
Oh, poor Sarah. Then the Thursday of that week, we have a super secret special gig that I'm going to be doing, but I can't announce that one yet. But we'll be announcing it hopefully soon. But I'm very excited about that too. And then the following weekend, the weekend of the 31st, I'll be going down to the Taylortown Comic Con in Taylor, Michigan, with our good buddy, my pool girlfriend Ariel, is going to be going down with me.
No, that's the one I'll be at the DAG event.
Yeah, you'll be at the DAG event that weekend.
Because the weekend before it, I won't be.
Yeah.
Something's happening that weekend. God damn it, I can't remember. There's too much shit going on.
So the end of July is going to be just jam-packed, full of stuff.
And then also Wizard World.
Wizard World is that same weekend, unfortunately, so I won't be able to attend Wizard World this year, unfortunately. But it's okay. They didn't deem it necessary to give us press passes this time anyway. So. But I'll be sad that I won't get to catch up with Victor and Dirk and all those guys.
We'll see. I might make a special appearance at Wizard World, depending on what goes down, because...
Well, the big launch for Legacy Rising Publications and Hot Shot and Heroes International and all those books is actually happening at Wizard World.
Which
and
is,
we are,
like,
of course, part of that universe.
Which is one of the two reasons I want to go. That and to, like, stalk the shit out of Amy Jo Johnson and deciding, like, Morpher so I can finally... Because if she signs it, I'm done. Like, I'm complete for all my Power Rangers.
So if we can, I'll be, we'll be doing double duty because I'll be in Michigan and Dave will maybe be getting to actually get there for the launch event and
come harass people.
We were super excited to see the colored images of the promo work for Heroes International, and we actually made it into the promo. We are there in full color as our superhero characters, and that is really just something, man. It's awesome.
And I look like a fucking badass.
I look crazy.
Michael.
I look so crazy.
You look like a badass.
It's really awesome, and we definitely want to be there and support. So we'll do our best to make sure that happens at least in some way, shape, or form. And if no, it'll be over by the time I get back on Sunday, unfortunately. But I'm gonna have to mock Dirk because every time I go to Michigan, he comes here, so it's weird. But
that's how it goes, man.
But I'll be happy to go down there. JR's going to be there, of course. I think Stephanie's going to be there. Stephanie Menard. I think also the guys from SourcePoint Press are going to be there. Arvil Jones is going to be there. Legendary comic book artist from the All-Star Squadron, who I'm a huge fan of.
Did you pick out your comics you want them to?
Not yet. I got to go through. I got to dig into some comics in there and pick out some ones to take down to get autographed. Yep.
Better get on that shit, motherfucker.
Yeah, Arrow's going to be booth babing with me for the first time, so that'll be cool. I'm sure she'll have a lot of fun. She'll have to be ducking all the weed smoke. The JR and I'll be in clouds of this time, I'm sure. It'll be a fun stoner show.
Sorry, I've been gone for so long. It's been 5 minutes, motherfucker. 5 minutes.
If you want more information about any of these shows, you can go to packratcomics.com for more information about Not at Comic-Con. You can go to the Ohio Toy and Comic Show.com, I think, for the Ohio Toy and Comic Show, or you can check them out on Facebook as well.
If you want to harass Sarah about her feet.
Mary Mercenary cosplay on Facebook.
Tell her that Dave sent you and talk about painting her toenails for her.
With your tongue.
With your tongue. If you get deep in between the webbings of the toes.
If you want more information about the Taylortown show, you can go to yourcomiccon.com, and that's all the information about John's shows. John Kal-El, who runs all the shows down there. I know that's not his actual last name. It's Kal-El, because John's a huge Superman fan like me. But that's his Facebook name, so it's just easier that way. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you can check out yourcomiccon.com, and there'll be details about everything that's going on down there. And the Taylortown show is going to be huge. You'll remember from the last Taylortown show, the big building, the big part of the building we were in. Well, not only that, but it'll also be the other side of the flea market part. There's a big building.
Palooza.
Yeah, there's another big building that's a little bigger than that room that we were in. So both of those are going to be going for both days.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a huge show. So I'm really excited to be a part of that one, and I believe that JR and I are actually next to each other this time. I think JR was like, I told John to put your table next to mine this time.
We'll see.
So cross fingers.
Yeah, we'll see.
And there's going to be panels.
You and JR can cross dicks.
Just for luck,
Just for luck.
Not gay or anything. There's going to be panels. There's going to be cosplay contests and all kinds of stuff. I think JR is doing a panel too. I haven't talked about any panels, but I'm always happy to jump in on that kind of stuff. So it's going to be super awesome and exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. But those last 2 weeks of July are going to be fucking really busy and stressful. And if you do come to the Taylortown show, I will have a couple customs that I'll be selling down there, and some sketch covers, and a couple other cool things that I've been working on, trying to expand the artistic side of the table a little bit and shrink over the game slightly. Eventually, we want to kind of phase the game out.
Thank God.
I love the game because it pays for lunch and all that other shit.
I hate the game because I have to deal with retards' children's.
But yeah, it doesn't really have anything to do with the show.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And all the shows and stuff that we're doing, like I love doing live appearances and stuff. And a lot of this has come out of the fact that, of course you guys know we've been doing a GoFundMe to help replace our laptop, which has gone kaputski. Like we have fucked with it enough to where it barely functions.
Yeah.
But it is on its last legs, and we're very afraid. And unfortunately, can't do the Todd Files until we get something new because of the logistics that are involved in doing Todd Files. So, but so far, we have we just started it like a little over a week ago. Actually, I think maybe 2 weeks ago now. Oh, I think it was a little over a week ago now. And we've already we're looking at our goal is $600, and we're already at $225. So we're a little over a third of the way there.
Word.
And that's really exciting. So I want to take just a few minutes to thank everyone personally who's donated.
You will all be receiving a signed picture of me in a man thong, or me doing the mangina. Maybe one of you, Sarah, will be getting the fruit basket picture.
The fruit basket.
I don't even care if you fucking gave me
with
money.
The Costanza picture.
Oh,
just get some glossies made of that and sign them. It'll be great. What a big thanks.
Lipstick pictures.
Big thanks to Chris Charlton, of course, of Black of Heart, Kenneth Centers, Sarah Detrick, Andrea Molinari, of course, of The Shepherd, who we love very much, Travis McIntyre, SourcePoint Press, our not unofficial, our official other co-host of the Todd Files, Michelle Joy Gallagher, who was very generous to us, and of course the amazing and awesome Rodney Fike, great artist and a Todd Files alumnus. All those guys have donated, and I huge thank you to all of them. And
is that Michelle, that crazy lady who makes poster books?
That crazy lady make them poster books,
make them
poetries,
make them poetry poster books. Yeah.
Sadly, not erotic poetry.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Where's your depressing, cure-related erotica poetry books for me?
Erotica. Interspecies erotica. Fucko.
That's coming out apparently. Yeah. I want to do that. Can we incorporate that book with hers and just have a weird mesh of slightly awesomely depressive, I've been listening to The Cure, fucking Wedding Crashers poetry, and fantasy-based erotica drawings.
Oh, well, since you brought up the fantasy, I guess we'll go ahead and do Kickstarters of the week now since you brought that up and I have to talk about it.
We don't have to.
Then we'll do the news. Kickstarters of the week this week. I actually have quite a few.
I have one, bitches.
I actually got this link today. The Kickstarter's been being run by an artist named Corey Redford, and it's called Dungeons After Dark, an adult fantasy pinup coloring book. What to say about this? It is interesting.
It'll shrink your sphincter. We're excited. I don't really know. We're excited.
I mean, we're all gamers here, of course, and we all love the fantasy genre.
You ever wondered what the anatomy of a gnome looked like?
This is an adult coloring book of pinups of fantasy races and creatures in sort of not fully anatomic naked happy time or whatever, but modest.
That's a stretch goal.
Modestly posed nudes, basically, of the dwarves and gnomes, and one of them is Cthulhu. And every time it goes by in the video, I nearly piss myself laughing because it's so hilarious.
I love the one that's the devil, where it's holding the thong up with its foot and shit. I'll be like, yes.
There's a tree creature, very Groot-like, who seems to be very, very saucy.
So barky.
God.
I don't even know what that is. Is that a harpy? Yeah, it's a harpy.
Don't know what the hell it is.
So, yeah,
but this one, it has brought no untold level of joy to us, just watching the video and looking at the pictures from it. And she's a really nice lady. I talked to her a little bit today, and it's got 35 days to go. Their goal is $5,000, and then they've had $768 so far, so it's on par to go. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. And the reward levels are pretty inexpensive too, so it's definitely one that's worth checking out. And that one again is called Dungeons After Dark, an adult fantasy pinup coloring book, and it's on Kickstarter right now.
Is there a reward where you can request a specific one?
There is.
Because I want to do it, but I want to do it where it's an elf that looks like me doing the Costanza.
Yeah. Yes. It's called Knight of the Realm. It's the $100 pledge level. Damn. Upon funding, you'll receive a thank you email code to download a full copy of the book to print out. She'll send you 2 copies of the coloring book, and she will draw a custom coloring page for you. It can be of you, provide reference picture, your character, or a famous person, go crazy, but not X-rated. So you could do the Costanza.
I want to send the Costanza picture is what I want. Jesus Christ, they'd be like, yeah.
Only $100. 3 people have apparently already backed that one. So.
Yeah. I would too. Shit.
We also have Metamora from Blue Frontier, and this one is got 27 days to go for a $2,800 goal, and they're already at 1656, so they're doing really good. Well. This one is very interesting. It's a Lovecraftian story in space. So it's like got the sci-fi elements, the Lovecraft elements. It invokes sort of thoughts of like Event Horizon and Cthulhu
Space.
Punk and Dead Space. So I've looked through the artwork, and the artwork is just really fascinating. Like some of these imagery, like I really love this one.
Yeah,
of course, you guys can't see it, but if you look on the Kickstarter, the artwork is just very, very awesome. And Lou, of course, is with Insane Comics. And he was a guy who we booked for the Todd Files, but logistically, shit just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so it didn't get to happen, but it will once we get back up and running. But there's some really interesting side goals and stuff for it, and it's already on its way, and it looks like it's definitely going to get funded. And it's one that I'm very seriously considering backing myself because it looks like a story that's just tailor-made for me. Yeah. As much as I love Lovecraft and space opera stuff, but it's really great looking artwork and a really interesting looking story.
Yes.
So I would definitely check into that one. Again, that one's called Metamora, and 27 days left to go.
Yes.
Then we also have Regret number 1 by Jason Ford. You guys may know Jason from his podcast called Womb Mates, what he does with his brother. It's a clever play on words, womb mates. This one is, the way he describes it is it's one part Commandy, one part Dune, one part Shadowrun, and all action. It's kind of a post-apocalyptic tale of the last uninfected girl in the world who has not been affected by mutation with these animal mutated creatures, and it's interesting. I can definitely see where it draws from like Commandy and things like that.
Out religiously.
Yeah. It looks very interesting. Of course, Jason's a great guy and has been a friend of the show, and I'd definitely suggest that you check it out. Right now, it's got 29 days to go. They're looking for only $500, so not a huge goal, and they're already at $217, so they're well on their way. So again, that one is Regret number 1. And then, of course, we have Josh Dahl's Rapid City Below Zero for number 5. I've talked about this one a couple times. 6. If you reference the latest episode of the Todd Files, you can hear Josh talk about it individually. They're doing really well right now. Now, if you go to it and you look, it would appear that they're way past goal, but really what it is Josh is taking it one page at a time.
Yeah.
So, the original goal was $100, and that was for one finished page. And for every, another $100 that gets on there, another page gets finished until the book is finished. So right now they're at $600, so they're doing very well, but there's 8 days to go. And so hopefully he will, get to the amount that is needed to actually finish the book. He does say it on the Todd Files. I cannot remember off the top of my head, but if you listen to the show, you can get that information. Yeah, okay. So Rapid City Below Zero, number 5 by Josh Dahl. That's awesome. And then you also have one this week.
Yeah, this one is different.
Not indie.
This is not, well,
a little
indie,
bit,
but not indie. This is for a lot of fans. If you've ever watched or read Vampire Hunter D, I don't know how many of you have, but you should, because it's a fucking great story.
It is one of the few animes that I don't despise.
Yeah. There's 2 animes out there. I love both of them equally. There's a bunch of different manga and different stories. I've got a big book collection of the artwork of it. Well, they're doing a Kickstarter for Vampire Hunter D, Message from Mars, which is the comic book adaptation of Message from Cecil. It's an unpublished Hideyuki Kikuchi short story. Right now, the numbers they were wanting was a 25,000 goal, and they've obliterated it. It's 46 right now. It's still got 34 days to go, and that's because it's Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah.
They've talked about it. They've showed some of the artwork and stuff. It is what you expect from Vampire Hunter D. It's gorgeous. The storytelling's amazing. If you've ever been a fan of Vampire Hunter D, I highly, highly suggest that you go check it out. Mm-hmm. And
for $5 you can get a PDF copy of it. You know, just for a $5 donation. That's well worth $5.
Yeah. And, they've got all kinds of really cool options in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of different things, but just in itself, like, I'm not even worried about the options and stuff. I just want this book because I love Vampire Hunter D. It's always been a very interesting story. And like I said, if you guys love it, you definitely need to check it out because it just looks beautiful. Hopefully they do more stuff. But yeah, so definitely check it out.
And for I think the $20 level is where you actually get the full printed copy.
Yep, a single printed one.
And that's really, again, not bad at all.
Because this is a...
And the shipping is free, which does not often happen on Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's true. And, because I believe this is a graphic, like, novel size, not like just single issue and stuff. And you're looking at, like, page 14, panel 2, work in progress.
It's gorgeous.
Look at that
Absolutely
art.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean... There's amazing stuff.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, the artwork on it is ridiculous. Yeah, there's the fun statue you can get. The left hand of D. It's a painted 3D.
It's beautiful.
Printed. Yeah, there's actually one you can get where you can get tattoos, and you put them on your hand, so you look like the left hand of D. A lot of different stuff. But truly, truly worth it if you are a Vampire Hunter D fan. So
definitely check that one is Vampire Hunter D, Message from Mars, 34 Days to Go.
It's by Kurt Rau.
So yeah, a lot of Kickstarters this time, and of course the GoFundMe. If you're interested in contributing to our GoFundMe, you can check out GoFundMe.com, and just the name of our campaign is Support Your Local Broke Podcaster. And of course there's links. The amount of people that have shared our link is staggering. It actually tells you on there, and it's way up in the triple digits. So thank you very much to everybody who shared the link. And even if you don't have a nickel, please share the link for us.
Or I will find you and I will stanza in front of your entire family.
Living God.
It's so there.
But I think we've come to the news of the week portion of the show.
Yeah.
Take it away, Newscaster Day.
Yeah, okay, me. I'm doing stuff. Well, I'm drinking. Okay, so one that just... rumors had been flying about it, and it pretty much was confirmed today. CW made a deal with Netflix for all of their shows, and even their new shows that are coming out this year, the 2016-2017 run. All of their shows will be on Netflix 8 days after their finales are aired, which this is awesome because if you guys remember, like, watching these, watching the seasons, you love to binge watch these seasons, but the problem is if it's a new show, they usually don't come out till like a week and a half or 2 weeks before the new season airs. So you got 2 weeks to binge watch, whether it's like one season, two seasons, or something like that. It's kind of a pain. You go all summer waiting, the type of thing. Well, not anymore. Now, all their shows 8 days after their finale. Awesome news. But comes with a little bit of drawback. The drawback is, for all of you who have Hulu and would always watch the episodes the next day, us included, that is a no more. CW did not renew, whether it be Hulu or whether it be CW, whatever it was, there was no renewing of that deal. So now CW shows, as far as I know, are no longer going to be on Hulu. So that next day watching stuff... yeah, that's...
So set your DVR.
Yeah, set your DVR. That's kind of out the thing. Some more news, CW-related stuff. Stephen Amell was at Villains and Heroes Fest and stuff like that, and was asked about the whole Flashpoint thing. And he jokingly, replied back. But they asked, will what happened at the end of season, 2 in Flash have an effect on, Arrow and, seemingly the other shows. Well, initially he kind of joked and was sarcastically sure, and he's I imagine they would and stuff. He didn't intend it necessarily to be this is gospel and stuff. He would just I would imagine it would,
Right.
A lot here lately, people have pretty much the past couple of years have taken everything Stephen Amell says as it's gospel and stuff as what's happening, and he immediately was hey, I don't know for a fact if it's going to or not. I just would assume it would. Don't hold me to that, but we'll see. So hopefully,
Stephen Amell said,
yeah, but Stephen said this. Well, hopefully it turns out to be true, it would only seem like it would make sense, especially with like the Supergirl and everything.
It's a connected universe,
Connected universe. Other CW related news: Tom Felton, we all know him from Harry Potter.
Draco Malfoy.
Draco Malfoy will be
Blonde
joining.
Extraordinaire.
Yes, will be joining The Flash as a season regular for season 3. There's been a few speculations on what character he'd be playing.
Well, they actually said what character he was playing.
Well, at first, like when it first broke, they were like, "Oh, well, who would he be playing?" Then it got said he's playing an antagonistic asshole, fucking, he's
another CSI
guy and stuff who
apparently has a dark past, also possibly, and then he's very suspect of Barry and his disappearances and whatnot.
Yeah, so this should be interesting.
Yeah.
Other stuff that came on, let me get to my little thing on my phone here, would be where is it? Oh, there it is. So the hot rumor, it's hot, it's so hot.
So hot, it's stunning.
It's so, there's always been talk. Okay, so the past, season past couple seasons, we've seen stuff hinting, Easter eggs. Even we saw the jacket, the Hal Jordan jacket in the show, stuff like that. They keep hinting towards Green Lantern, Coast City, Ferris Air, all kinds of stuff. Well, the hot rumor is that Green Lantern will debut on Arrow because Hal Jordan's sister-in-law was cast. The actress Carly Pope, I don't know how many people of you might remember, she was on a WB show back when it was WB. It was that where they were all high schoolers and shit like that. I forget what it was called, but she has been cast as the sister-in-law of Hal Jordan. She'll be playing Susan Williams, a journalist from Hal's hometown of Coast City. She is married to Jim Jordan, Hal's younger brother. A lot of people are seeing this as another step towards Green Lantern. And one of the big reasons is because at first they were like, oh, I don't know, but then Jeff Johns took over being in control of that stuff. And for so long, there was we're not going to see Superman anymore. And then he was cast for season 2. So a lot of people, and especially with Jeff Johns, because he did Blackest Night, a lot of people believe that he's pushing hard to get Green Lantern in the Flareverse. Right. Which would be fucking amazing.
It would be the greatest.
It would be one of the greatest things ever.
I'd be singing the fucking SpongeBob Best Day Ever song. March, it's the best day ever.
So, whether or not it's going to happen, whether or not it's going to be on Arrow, we don't know. This is all rumor mill type stuff. But apparently, their source is a pretty good one. Apparently, he had the scoop on the whole Marvel Fox deal a year before it happened. So this guy could be onto something. I don't know. We'll see. I just want to see Carly Pope. She's hot, and it'll be interesting to see them incorporate more of that. If you guys liked Constantine,
and
we all did. We loved him on Arrow. We loved the show. Unfortunately, it was on a suck-ass network.
Yes, it was.
If you want to go back and watch the whole season of Constantine, you can, because they put it on CW Seed.
Yes,
so
very
for
exciting.
Streaming. So you can definitely watch all of that, which I will actually go, because Hulu is weird about their... It would only hold so many new episodes, and if you get backed up, you're screwed.
Yeah.
They only hold the 5 newest episodes. So that's kind of a pain in the ass. So now I will finally get to see the ending to that season, which I will be happy about. Some movie news. Pacific Rim, ever since the casting of Boyega from Force Awakens.
That Star Wars guy, right?
Yeah, John Boyega.
Boyega.
Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim is officially back on schedule with a planned February 23rd, 2018 release.
Do we know if Charlie Hunnam's coming back?
They haven't said anything about that. So there's a lot of talk of whether Boyega is taking over for him as far as being the lead.
I really hope that he comes back, because I do love Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. I could see him not doing it, though.
I could.
Yeah. For this sequel, Del Toro is stepping back as director in favor of former Daredevil showrunner Stephen S. DeKnight. Production is reportedly on schedule to begin later this year. So,
I can't wait.
Yeah, this will be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see it. Because I know they were talking about the possibilities of like a Godzilla Pacific Rim thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm much more excited about that than that shit show looking Japanese Godzilla that they're working on right now.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Now, that is awesome news. Unfortunately, the next piece of news I have is kind of sad for me.
Sad for me.
Sad for me. Underworld 5 Blood Wars, which is the one that has been talked about, it's got pushed back. It was supposed to be due out this October, just in time for like Halloween. Well, unfortunately, now it's been pushed back towards to January, I believe.
Ooh, that's not good news.
That's not good news, because that is
January is where movies go to die.
Yeah, like, January, February are, dead months for movies and stuff. So
January and February, if a movie gets pushed back to then, that generally means the studio looked at it and said, we don't have confidence in this.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
They didn't really clearly say why it got pushed back. Kate Beckinsale is still set to be in it, so is Theo James and a bunch of the other people. So, there's still... It might just be, scheduling conflict. We don't know. But I'm sad because I wanted to see that.
I'm bummed about it myself, yeah.
Now, this one is a fun little piece of news. I don't know where this came out of. Honestly,
it's been all over the internet.
It's been all over the internet, and
it's
just one of those things. So Anna Kendrick, from like Pitch Perfect and all these other fucking movies that have come out, apparently went on to say that she would love to play Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl.
Now, albeit Squirrel Girl has become here recently very popular in the comics. Like, she's pretty much in a lot of the stuff. But I don't know. To me, I'm like, this would be interesting. Like, where are you going to fit her into the movies?
Right.
And, like, you were able to do Rocket Raccoon very tastefully, and it still worked out and stuff like that. I'm like, how are you going to do Squirrel Girl?
Yeah.
Like, for those of you that don't know Squirrel Girl...
Squirrel Girl. She kicked Dr. Doom's ass on multiple occasions.
Everybody has a bad day. Okay, so...
Poor Victor.
So here, she also apparently kicked the shit out of Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl is awesome.
She's something.
She is something.
So...
She's also in that Amazing Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six cartoon that's on XD.
Yes.
And I'm not even a Spider-Man fan, like, remotely, but I've been watching that a little bit lately, and it's a pretty good cartoon.
It's pretty good, yeah. So, for you guys that don't know who Squirrel Girl is, this is a rundown of her powers. Superhuman strength, reflexes, enhanced vision, superior hand-to-hand combat skills, retractable claws, and the ability to communicate with squirrels. Not telepathically, she can actually speak squirrel. Like, will fucking... clicks and nut noises and all kinds of weird shit. But basically, she's like Marvel's fucking sweetheart right now. Everybody seems to love Squirrel Girl. So, I guess Anna Kendrick was chatting and said that if she ever had the chance, she would, she would play the character. Now, this is funny because I also saw another article where they talked about the chick who does Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
Also possibly being one person they thought could play the character. Again, I say that's cool. It's a more unique character. It's just, where are you going to fit it into the movie universe if it happens and stuff? Yeah, it works in a cartoon and it works in the comics and stuff like that. How are you going to get it into the movies?
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Tricky.
It's kind of okay, I hate to call it a joke character, but it kind of sort of is. It's like, it's a fun character.
Yeah.
But, I don't know where you would fit that into the Marvel movie universe. Like, if you wanted to do, like, a show about it or something, like, in a kind of do, like, a comedy sort of show, it might could work.
I could see her, I could see Squirrel Girl popping up on, what is it, the Powerless or the, whichever one, the Marvel version of the insurance show, she could be, because I know having a, like on the DC version, they're going to have Crimson Fox? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I could see Squirrel Girl showing up on that because she's perfect for comedy and that stuff, and she has a good power setup. So,
yeah.
Well, I don't know. Will we ever see Squirrel Girl in the movies or TVs? Who knows? But it is a thing where there are people who are willing to play it.
Yes.
So it'd be interesting. Another weird thing, rumor, and this one has been persisting for entirely, I don't know, a little too long for me, is this whole thing about, is Ghost Rider going to show up on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
this
has
season?
pretty much been
stuff
debunked
like that.
already.
It's been debunked, but people will not shut up about it because they're like, oh, no, this is proof. The character that they have seen, and all this is referred to, is an inhuman character. So...
Shut up about it.
Yeah, seriously, shut up about it. Like, it makes no sense for Ghost Rider to show up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It would make more sense for the Netflix shows to get him before it would to be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Way too heavy of an effects thing to put on that show, I think.
It is.
And it just doesn't fit the tone.
No. So I think that, to me, is...
Daredevil or one of those shows is a much more likely place to see him show up.
Yeah.
I had a little piece of news too, and I'm actually, this just is from earlier today. I saw it this morning before I went to bed. That sounds weird, but it's true.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go to bed until like 10 a.m. But Noelle Neal, legendary actress, who was the first Lois Lane, the very first Lois Lane in the
Who be that?
1938 Superman movie serials, and in the George Reeves Superman TV show Adventures of Superman from the 50s.
Who be that?
Eat shit. She is the original Lois Lane, and she passed away.
I thought Margot Kidder was the original.
Oh, fuck you. She passed away at the age of 95 today. Of course, she lived a ripe, long life. And,
she outlived them all.
She did, and she, in later years, did cameos on Lois and Clark. She did cameo. She actually, if you remember in Superman Returns at the beginning when Lex has his old lady wife that's dying in bed, that's her. And she had cameos in the 1978 Superman, so she has been connected, heavily with it. She did multiple appearances at the Superman Festival in Metropolis, and from all accounts, just a very classy lady who loved the character. So classy. And she's the Lois that I always respected, and thought of, because she was
the intrepid reporter.
Yes, especially because in that era,
the intrepid reporter was a thing.
Being a lady and being in that era and being as strong as a guy was not really a thing, and she was not that damsel in distress Lois. Yeah, she would get kidnapped and shit, but she was pretty ballsy, man. She was the proto Lois, the one that a lot of other people have said that they based their Lois on.
Yeah.
And so,
a lot of them suck at basing their Lois off of.
Fuck Margot Kidder. But, no, she was really an awesome lady and a piece of Superman history. And I was sad to see her pass this morning. But like I said, she lived a ripe life to a ripe old age, 95. That's no... nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah,
95 years.
Man, that's pretty fucking up there. Most motherfuckers don't do that.
My heart goes out to her friends and family and fans of the genre of Superman. And she was my first Lois that I ever remembered. Watching the George Reeves Superman when I was a kid on Nick at Night, and she's the one that I always compare every other Lois to. In my mind. So that was a little sad piece of news, but yeah. It's been a news heavy week for that stuff. There's a lot more news than I thought, and a very Kickstarter heavy week too. Obviously.
Yeah, and you know why? It's cool because it balances out. Because the past 2 episodes of Raw have sucked dick.
God, the only thing I will say about Raw is they had a food fight segment at the beginning of the July 4th
fucking awesome,
Raw, and it was hilarious.
But that was it. That was the highlight.
And that was the one that was actually here in Columbus, the one that we could have potentially gone to if we had given a fuck. But
after watching it, I'm so glad I didn't go.
So fucking glad we didn't pay for tickets for that shit. Yeah. But that was a lot of fun. I have literally nothing else to say about wrestling right now. I'm kind of I'm pissed at it for trying to fuck me into watching multiple hours a week of shit. But
yeah,
that was a fun segment. And I enjoyed the fuck out of that.
Yeah, that was good. Miz got the crap kicked out of him.
Yes, that's always fun too.
And Slater got put through it too. That was fucking hilarious. And it was cool to see Sheamus with his hair down. I'm sick of his mohawk.
I feel like Sheamus looks so much fucking better with his hair slicked down and shit. He looks about a trillion fucking times less doobery without the mohawk. I think some people pull off mohawks very well. And I don't think that he doesn't do a mohawk well. I just think, now having seen both, good lord, he looks better with his hair flat.
Yeah. It's just stop.
Stop fucking spiking it. Calm down with that shit. You're 40. No.
Back and stop.
Well, we're hitting the hour mark, so it's time for... Is it shilling time, sir?
Yes.
Well, it's the time of the week where I shill like a 3 o'clock in the morning pitch man trying to sell a fucking ShamWow. If you like what you heard this week on the Basement Fodder podcast, you can, of course, always find our family of shows at our website, thebasementofdoom.wordpress.com, and, of course, on our network home of digitalnerdage.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, not Tumblr. Tumblr's for porn. And, of course, you can find us on Facebook at Basement Fodder Podcast, the Todd Files, Todd of Basement Fodder, David Basement Fodder, the original Basement Babe, and the Basement of Doom. And, of course, if you're in the market for custom action figures, you can find us Titan Trap Custom on Facebook and Titan Trap Custom on Twitter, and, of course, at Basement Fodder on Twitter. And, of course, I can't do it logistically right now, but I still offer my support to my other co-host, the Vengeful Jedi Clint Thiel, on the Geek Dig podcast. It's geekdigpod.com. And, of course, you can find all of their shows also on iTunes, Spreaker.com, YouTube, and many other places where you can download podcasts.
Yeah.
And I believe that's going to wrap it up for this week, sir.
Wrap it up, B.
Got more beers to drink.
I got booze.
And less fucks to give.
Yeah. I'm here to drink and give no fucks. And I'm all out of fucks.
And I'm all out of fucks.
And bubblegum.
So you guys, until next time, have a fun week. And until next time, the basement door is closed.
Later, bitches.